game, he has adapted his build, he's contoured his strategy, and he gets a scan off, he misses the Stargate, but he sees the Chrono Boost. He misses the Chrono Boost. So that's got to be a telltale sign. I'm not sure if Painties even saw that, but he's going to get a bunch of Marines. He's got turrets. I think he will be in a good position. He's also getting a Ghost Academy. I love this from Painties. They're getting Ghost to EMP, and of course, well, just EMP has a great ability against Protoss, draining all their energy, draining all their shields. Here comes the first Void Ray though, so this is Dopa's hope. This is what he's clinging on to. If he can do some significant damage with this Void Ray, keep it charged up, micro it effectively, he can get himself back into this game. He's still down in the Harvesters, down by 3 underneath Pain User, and here comes Pain User's push. He has Stiff Packs, he has Concussor Shells, does not have shields. Infantry is, the weapons level 1 is almost done, and he stims up, but a shield blocks half the Marauders and Marines outside the map, and it looks like the Void Ray is going to engage, but the Void Ray is facing up 4 Marines right now. It looks like the Marines are going to push the Void Ray back, and the last of the ground forces for the Protoss player are falling, and it doesn't look too good for Dopa. He has lost all his forces, and he calls it GG in game number 2. So both players tied up 1-1. They can warp in right here, and that can be very abusive. And not all Protoss players know about that, so I don't know if Dopa knows about that. But he might try to do it, so we'll see what happens this game. Pain User spawning as Yellow Terran in the bottom right-hand corner, and Dopa spawning as Teal or Green Protoss at the top left, Chrono Beasting those probes out. And one thing I gotta return back to and say, oh, Dopa not gonna wall off his front door again. That hurt him pretty badly in the last game, where the 2 Marauders just walked right up his ramp. And I guess he just doesn't like to wall off. I don't really see the benefit to not doing it. He's just going to put it inside his base. So we'll see if that comes back to hurt him in game number 3. This is the finals. And this map, Delta Quadrant, by the way, has a lot of expansions. Very possible to see a long-term macro game or not. It's just going to end right now. So that was as Yellow Terran, and over to the right we have Dopa spawning as the Purple Protoss. Now, one thing I think that would be very strong on this map for Pain User would be opening with 1-1-1, 1 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, getting a fast Banshee out, and then quickly going over to this mineral line and start to harass these probes. I think that's one thing that Pain User loves to do, so I really think that would be a powerful tactic on this map. And another thing I'd like to see him do is get this scout early on. It's a 4-player map, find out what the Protoss player is up to. It looks like Dopa is not going to wall in with his gateways, and not going to fault him for that, because it seems to be his strategy, seems to be his tactic. And to each his own, he's going to be chrono boosting his probes out of the map right away. And Pain User, I think, if he can go for that fast Banshee, if he can get those Banshees out and start to harass them, not only does that hurt the economy of the Purple Protoss player, Dopa, but it also forces him to stay on the defensive front. He can't go attack. There's a Banshee inside his base. Typically, once players reactively and instinctively pull their forces back. So look for something like that to happen. Dopa here going to move out with his probe, and as all the players do when scouting, stop and take a stop by and a glance at the Zelnaga watchtower, because it gives you such a huge vision at the center. And this watchtower at the center of the map is key to success in this game. A lot of players got to know how to capture it, and when you do capture it, it gives you so much vision, it gives you so much awareness and control of the map. Pain User here throwing down a barracks at the front door, has gas, relatively standard. I believe that's 12 barracks, 13 gas. Orbital command right after the barracks finishes, so everything looking nice and tidy for the Terran player. Oh, we have a 2-gate opening for Dopa here. This is very unorthodox, going for 2 gateways. I'm not sure I agree with this. 2-gate just doesn't really work against Terran players because of the fact that they can wall off. This is very unorthodox, and look for Dopa to try to get some early aggression on, but at the same time he's got a Cybernetics core down as well. So really, I'm not sure what his plan is. I guess it's going to be a mixture of Zealot and Stalker. His gateways are already rally pointed over to the Terran base, straight into the heart of Pain User's base. Pain User getting a factory down. So I believe, yeah, he sees the 2 gateways, so he knows what's up. He knows that he needs to stay defensive and hold off the initial Protoss attack. He's getting a factory down right away to get out a siege tank, I would imagine, to deal with the Stalkers and Zealots that are going to be knocking on his front door very soon. It is a double Stalker attack coming out of these 2 gateways. This is so strange and so unorthodox to try to go for a 2-gate opening against Terran. And as long as Pain User can get the siege tank out, he should be fine. But this timing is going to be very, very very narrow for Pain User. He still hasn't finished the factory yet, and he needs to research the tank as well, and the 2 stalkers are out. This could be bad. All Pain User needs to do, though, is raise up the supply depot and bring SCVs to repair. Keep this front door open. Don't let it open up. Excuse me. Keep this front door locked and ready. And here comes the stalkers. 2 stalkers pushing in. The Marine's getting caught out of position. The Marine trying to get back into the base, but Pain User realizing that Marine is lost, and the supply depot is starting to take fire. Pain User needs to pull SCVs to repair the supply depot. What is he doing? He's not going to repair it. The supply depot is going to go down, I think. It is in the red. It is burning. It's on fire. And the Marines are taking damage from the stalkers, but the 2 SCVs coming just in time to repair it. But of course, the stalkers, when they walk on this ramp, can start to shoot the SCVs as well. I think Pain User needs to pull about 3 or 4 more SCVs. He's opening starports, so he seems to be relatively calm and collected. And this is a hallmark trait of any pro player, not giving into the pressure, still sticking to his build order. His siege tank is almost out, and the tank is out. This is going to save his neck and push these stalkers away. Dopa's 2-gate opening fails, and Pain User holds onto his front door. And now the ball is in Pain User's court. He is going to get his starport out, and this is going to be bad news for the Protoss player. If a Banshee comes into his base and starts to harass his pro line, more stalkers and zealots coming out of the front door. The Protoss player retains map control. He's still keeping on with this early aggressive play. I think he really wants to end this game earlier on than most players would expect, and he still has stalkers at the center of the field, about 4 or 5 right now. And he's continuing to produce more, chrono boosting the warp gate. He needs a warp gate technology right away. The starport is done, tech lab is complete. Look for him to build a Banshee out of this starport, but he needs to hold this front door. He has a bunker to help bolster his front gate, and it is going to push the stalkers away once again. 2 tanks out right now, and that is really going to nullify any kind of a stalker pressure and opening. So Pain User in a great position right now. He just needs to get his Banshee out. And it looks like he's going to open with a Viking, so this is very strange. I think he's opening Viking because he's thinking that the Protoss player is going to have a Stargate right now, but that is not the case. There is no Stargate inside the Protoss player's base. He's continuing to keep this pressure on. He's morphing in warp gates right now. This is really going to increase that production time for the Protoss player. He's also getting a 3rd gateway on the way, and okay, so I guess Pain User just got the wrong unit. He has canceled it. He is getting a Banshee now. That is the correct unit to get. And he needs to use this Banshee to pull the Protoss forces back, apply pressure, and keep the Protoss player on the defensive, because this is a lot of stalkers and zealots at the front. But Pain User has now researched siege mode. I think he should be just fine. I don't see how he's going to fall at all. Pain User is also getting an engineering bay to get turrets up just in case the Protoss player has a Stargate. He still doesn't know. He has not scanned for the longest time. There is a Stargate, but this Stargate is relatively late because the Protoss player Dopa went for 3 gateways before the Stargate. And look at that, Dopa going to use that pylon. He does know about the pylon, warping into Zealots in the back door. Notice how Dopa didn't even need vision, and the 4 Zealots are inside Pain User's space. This is very difficult for Pain User to deal with. He's on a 2 frontal attack. How many SCVs can Dopa kill with these 4 Zealots? He's forcing Pain User to run all his SCVs out of harm's way, and the siege tanks are trying to come back to get rid of these Zealots. I think Dopa isn't going to kill much SCVs at all. He still has the economic lead at 33 harvesters over 28, and this entire time, Pain User is not mining. His SCVs are still not mining. They're just chilling here. Pain User needs to get them back to work. Lazy SCVs, more Zealots morphing in for Dopa. This is so abusive for Protoss players to do. It's really great thinking, great strategy to abuse the map to the maximum potential and use this new technology that Protoss players have in StarCraft 2, warping in those Zealots right in the back. And Pain User knows about it now, so he's bringing his tank and his Marines. He doesn't know about the 3 Zealots hiding here in the corner, but he is going to take out this proximity pylon. Meanwhile, it looks like there was a Banshee coming to the back, and it looks like it got about 3 kills. And it did force Dopa to bring back a lot of his forces, so great play from Pain User, multitasking. He's going to bring the Banshee in once again for another attack. It does take 2 shots to kill every probe, which is quite effective for Banshee. And right now, Dopa needs to bring his Stalkers back once again. This is how good Terran players play, applying pressure with a single unit and forcing all these Stalkers to come back, which is going to relieve a lot of pressure at the front door for Pain User. So, here in Game 3 at the Berkeley StarCraft LAN, it looks like we are going to gear up for a much more macro-oriented game as Pain User is starting to bust down these rocks. The 3 Zealots are still hiding here. I think what Dopa's going to do is wait for the saturation to come, and then he's going to bring the Zealots in and bring the pain to Mr. Pain User. Looks like Dopa here is charging up his Void Ray on his own pylon. Great play here. And then he's going to come in and try to take out these buildings. I'm not sure if the charge can hold though. Here we go. He's keeping the charge up by attacking his own units. And the charge remains. And it's going to start to go to work on the bunker. The bunker is going to fall so fast to this Void Ray. But the Void Ray is taking some damage as well. Looks like Dopa is going to push forward. The missile turret starts to shoot at the Void Ray. The Void Ray goes down. Great placement of the turret from Pain User, and he's still playing defensively with these siege tanks in the back. The Banshee has 19 kills. So this Banshee has just been having a fun day in the back of the Protoss base. My goodness, this guy is a complete baller. Upgrade that thing to like a battlecruiser or something. He's getting so many kills. Oh my god, and Dopa, he's in trouble. His harvester count is 19 under 30, so he lost so many probes to that Banshee that he is now considerably behind to Pain User, and Pain User is in a firm position of control right now. Going to land his command center down and start to macro up. I guess the 3 Zealots there did go down eventually to whatever Pain User had, and Pain User now is going to really kick into high macro gear. What can Dopa do? He needs to secure another expansion, and he needs to be careful about this Banshee in the back. That is one master Banshee. So Dopa here getting an Immortal out to deal with the tanks. I like Immortals. They are great against tanks. I'd like to see Dopa get some Phoenix out of his Stargate. And yeah, just as I said, he's getting some Phoenix out. Use Graviton Beam against the siege tanks. That's what he did in game number 1 to get the victory. So look for him to do that again here. He's going to break down the gold expansion. So he knows he's behind right now, but if he can secure this gold before Pain User moves out and start to get some income from it, he can really bring himself back into this game. He's also narrowing that gap just a little bit, 24 under 34, but his income's so much lower because he's still on one base, 1100 to 620 per minute. And here comes Pain User. He is going to push out. He's got so many tanks. Very characteristic of how Pain User plays. Really loves to get that mech out, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a Raven